Hello viewers, here is a 1963 General Electric audio amplifier. This has an 8-track recorder and a frequency modulation and an amplitude modulation radio receiver. And it also has a phonograph input, which we're going to be utilizing not for a phonograph, but just to get audio in from the computer. Here is the date code and serial number. I'm kind of guessing that 64 is 1964. It certainly seems likely. It's the power information. It does have an electrical pass-through to plug in something else. Probably a turntable was the intention. It does carry the UL listing, and interestingly enough, it's made in China. And there's the model number, SC2307B, 120 volts, 50 watts, 8 ohm speakers. There's the audio in, the antenna. I don't know where the AM antenna would connect. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and power this on. Oops. Now, if there's anything of interest to look at the bottom. Serviced by General Electric. So, I wonder if this had a failure at some point. That's kind of interesting. So it is in kind of rough condition. It's got a lot of scratches up at the top here, and the surface is really dirty. It's got almost like a mold or something on it, so I have to get that cleaned off. And but it's all there, and I'm pretty confident in anything manufactured, prior to 1970. So I don't really see any reason why it wouldn't work. It doesn't seem like it was subjected to any kind of abuse. So I have these speakers here, which my neighbor gave me, and was part of what kind of sparked the hunt for something like this, because I had these speakers and I had nothing to use them with, and I said, I'd like to have these downstairs here at the computer in place of this set of speakers I have now, just because they're not the greatest. Or I should say that they're not that great. They're not the greatest for listening to music. They're okay for other things. But anyways, these speakers seem like they should be pretty decent. These are 8 ohm speakers, and they are Presidian branded. So these would have been sold at Radio Shack. And they claim to be able to handle 50 watts. So that's a fair bit of power, certainly far more than I would need downstairs here in any normal listening environment. And they seem like they're in good condition. They don't seem to be rotted or anything. So hopefully these will work. So what I've done here is I went around and I got this. These are RCA to open lead cables, and I've used these in a couple of different applications, and I find these are really good cables. They're not the cheapest thing out there. I think they're about $11 for the pair, but They're very well made and they're easy to work with. So what we're going to do here is we're going to get this connected up so we can hear if it works or not. And what I'm going to do is we're going to connect to the front right and to the front left. Now this came with an RC cable or two cables actually. This is an archaic cable. Probably still works. I don't have a particular use for it in this scenario here. And then I have an audio in cable which I'm going to connect into the phonograph ports. Which actually that's a little bit flaky there. And of course this all needs to be cleaned. These are very oxidized. And so now I could take this and just plug it into a computer or some other kind of an audio source. So we'll turn this back around here and get all these wires on this side. It's a fairly heavy machine. Alright, so for the speakers, we're just going to go here and connect this up. And a Panasonic phone just made a sound. I'm not really sure what that's about, but and you can see here the cables are actually pre-tinned as they're spliced there, so I really am quite happy with the quality of these cables. Okay, the speakers are connected, and now let's plug it. I don't have an audio source connected yet. I don't think it's going to reach over to the computer, so I'll have to shift everything around. Let's plug it in, and oddly enough, off is up, which is kind of strange. So let's turn the volume all the way down just in case it's doing something weird. And let's power it on. We've got a Hertz hum. We have an illuminated display. That's pretty cool. Try to get that in the shadow. That's really neat. And this is actually working as well. There's a light on there. Let's see. Looks like all four of those lights are actually going to work. So that's pretty neat as well. And it looks like all the lights are working inside the tuner there. Okay, so right now we are on stereo. It's not an automatic stereo selection. There's manual for just single band and stereo. So we'll put it on stereo here, and let's see if we get a little bit of volume. It looks like it may be tuned into something. Oh, it's actually picking something up with my antenna. That's so surprising. Clearly we need to deoxidize these potentiometers here. But there it is, it's working. I'm going to separate these so we can see if the stereo is going to work. And this is being recorded in stereo, so you should be able to hear this. If you're listening through a stereo set of speakers, you should be able to hear this as I do. I'm going to switch it to the left and I'll sweep it over. Okay, so that is working. And I forgot to set up the transmitter before I started the video, so I can't stream the audio for very long because this is just copyright from a local station. Looks like that's going to be either 95.9 or 95.1. both would play this same kind of music, so I can't tell. Actually, that doesn't sound oxidized at all, neither is this, it's just the volume. So that was AM, and there's no antenna on here, and we're in the basement, so it's probably not going to get anything. Oh, look at that, it's getting something.
Excuses, and maybe it is part of the equation.
Actually getting several frequencies. That's very surprising.
It's really the best way to know an amazing trouble complex national is to meet them.
That's probably 103.7.
Professionals
And that's 107.9. So it's actually getting a lot of frequencies considering there's no antenna on there. And it sounds like the hertz hum has gone away. So that's good. So now let's go over to, I don't have any 8-track tapes, so I can't really check that. So, and actually it looks like it only records and doesn't play anyways. So let's go over to the phone. I keep hearing a Panasonic phone. I don't have a Panasonic phone down here. Well, anyways, let's go to the phonograph input. And we can hear both channels. So it looks like that would work. I'm gonna go and get, actually, you know what? Just for purposes of simplicity, I'm gonna grab another radio here. I'm sure this is going to get wonderful comments, but I'm going to take this radio and I'm going to plug this into the audio jack on here, and then I'm going to plug in this radio and I'll tune something into this radio, and I have to test out this radio anyways, so this is a good test. Alright, so let's get something tuned into here. Okay, so that's tuned in, and so now in theory we should hear the same thing on here. Yep, there it is. Yep, both channels are working. So there we go. 1963 and still kicking in 2019. They don't make anything like that anymore. None of those amplifiers you can buy today are going to be going in 50 years from now. Capacitors are going to blow up or something. So this is I only paid $12 for this thing, and the speakers I got for free. So this was a really good find. Let me turn the lights off in here so you can see that illuminated tuner. After all these years, the bulbs haven't even gone out in there. That is truly remarkable. And the other thing that's impressive about this is that it was only made in China. So that just goes to show, made in China, at least the quality control issues we see today, is more of an issue with greed than it is with the physical location of manufacture, because clearly, and this machine is just another testament to this, things made in China used to be okay.